Well, first of all, wonderful lunch. Thank you for that, and thank you to the servers and everybody for bringing that around for us today. At this time, we'll move on to the introductions of past Hall of Famers, and I ask anyone who has been inducted into the Hall of Fame to please stand if they are able. And with us in attendance today, former Hall of Fame inductees Hayden Battles, Tom Bergman, Buck Buchanan, Bob Densmore, Chuck Edwards, Valerie Ferris, Vern Harris, Todd Helton, Melanie Miller, Don Mitchell, Corey Navarre, Rachel Poole, and Charles Teasley. A round of applause for them. As for this year's inductees, you can follow along on your programs at your table. We'll start with Cord McCoy, who was a standout member of the SWOSU rodeo team from 2000 to 2003, helping the Bulldogs to 2 top 5 finishes at the College National Finals Rodeo. At the CNFR, Cord placed 6th in bull riding in 2000 and 7th in saddle bronc in 2003. After graduating from SWOSU with a business degree in 2003, Cord continued to ride professionally and won 5 international professional rodeo world champion titles. He also qualified for the National Finals Rodeo in 2005 before focusing strictly on the sport of bull riding and competing in the professional bull rider circuit in 2006, where he qualified for the PBR Finals 6 times. In 2009, Cord and his brother Jet competed in the hit television show The Amazing Race Season 16, and they've twice been invited back to race in seasons 18 and 24. Cord McCoy.
Oh, and it is it's such an honor to be here to stand up in front of such prestigious folks that I've looked up to for so long. I feel like it's even better to do it with my brother Jed. I remember, Mom and Dad are here today. I remember sitting there in the living room, and Dad's sitting in his big red chair, and Mom was there working, and I got a phone call from Southwestern Oklahoma State University. Doc Mitchell called me up, asked me if I'd like to be a Bulldog. Would like to come ride for Southwestern Oklahoma State University. I didn't. I guess at the time I didn't know how much that one phone call would change my career and even my life. So I got to thank Doc Mitchell for calling and inviting me. In that very next phone call, my brother Jet was he was a cowboy. He was going to Oklahoma State University, and it was tough enough, I guess, for us to get separated when he graduated high school, went on to college. And I called Jet and I said, "Hey, I got a good idea. Why don't you come to Southwestern with me? We'll both be on the same team. We won't compete against each other." So it wasn't just a minute later, Jet became a Bulldog as well. So it's an honor to be inducted in the Hall of Fame with my brother. I don't know how many of you guys have kind of watched our career, but how much we've traveled together, competed against each other, and thrived off of each other. And lately, I guess, got to race around the world together again. So it's an honor to be inducted with Jet. But there's so many people to thank. I come to Southwestern, and I remember even going into to registration and filling out my first classes. The people just give you so much respect, and that you were here to serve a purpose. You even go downstairs and get your books, and they hand you your first stack of books like they're handing you a torch, and it's your job to carry the Olympic torch and to do your job across the world and have so much hope and put so much inspiration in you from all the different professors around that drove me on. For Doc Mitchell looking out for me, there's so many times that I needed a tutor, I needed help, and it's an honor to be inducted with a coach, because it's those coaches sometimes that is the reason that I have a degree today. The different semesters that you get off track, the semesters that you make mistakes, that somebody's there to watch your back. And Corey Navarre, he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame, but the funny thing, his wife tutored me to help me get through college algebra. I wouldn't have made it without her. I know Miss Boggs, my biology teacher. I thought it was special. She asked if I would come to tutoring on Wednesday night, and I needed it at the time. I needed all the help I could get to get through, and I showed up, and I think almost all of the class showed up at the Wednesday night lab tutor. It wasn't just me. She treated us all special, like we all had a purpose, and that we were meant to serve. And I just think about how many kids come straight out of high school, straight off the farm like I do, that you guys inspire, whether it be the coaches, the professor, the faculty, that your job of creating the next generation, and I want to slap you guys on the back and tell you how good a job you did, and how much it meant to me to come to Southwestern. Randy was talking earlier about being a Bulldog, and people still today be like, you're from Oklahoma, you cheer for the Cowboys or the Sooners, and I tell them I'm a Bulldog. That's who I cheer for. So it makes it pretty simple. But there's so many people to thank. We wanted to get better, and said something to Doc Mitchell about getting on some more practice horses, and that I think him and my dad got together. It wasn't a week later, 40 head of bucking horses showed up at Southwestern Oklahoma State University. I don't know how much practice you guys really want, but the first week there was a whole herd of us, and week 2 I think it was me and Jet and Nick Risley showed up for practice, and my dad called and said, "Well, I bought all them horses. We got to get through them anyway." So practice got real serious right there. You run through the winnings and the biography there, and there's every time that you would say that there was something I won, I thought, well, there's somebody else to thank for that. Every time that there was a championship, there's somebody else to thank for that. I know in 2005 I qualified for my first national finals rodeo, a dream come true, that since I was a little boy and put on my first hat, I wanted to be a qualifier for the national finals rodeo, to be one of the best in the world. And Corey Navarre gets a lot of credit for helping me with that. He's such a good businessman, and he entered me in almost every rodeo I went through in 2005, scheduling where I was going to go, and I got to give him a lot of credit for that. I'm so inspired about the next group of cowboys and cowgirls to come to Southwestern. I got to rodeo with Mike Wisniewski, and nobody has more drive, more determination, and more love for the sport of rodeo than he does, and he cares so much. So I'm so excited to see the next generation of kids. That I see somebody in high school, and I said, you've got to go to Southwestern. You've got to be a Bulldog. These are the best people in the world. So such an honor to be on that list. You sit through and you read the list of such honorable folks. So today, I just so humbled and honored to say that I made the list. So thank you so much for coming, and thanks again.
Congratulations again, Cord. Jet McCoy competed for the SWOSU rodeo team from 1999 to 2002, participating in a multitude of events during a very successful era for the Bulldogs. Jet competed in 3 CNFRs for SWOSU, helping the Bulldogs earn a runner-up finish in 2000 and finish 5th in 2001. Individually, Jet finished 5th in the all-around, 8th in bareback, and 9th in bull riding in 2000, then took 4th in the all-around in 2001, with a 6th place finish in bareback and 9th place finish in bareback. Named SWOSU's Male Athlete of the Year for the 2000-2001 school year, Jet tied for 6th in the all-around and claimed 7th place in bareback for the Bulldogs his senior year. Jet earned his bachelor's degree in communications and psychology from SWOSU in 2003 before competing in the Amazing Race alongside his brother Cord. Jet McCoy.
people don't know that I have a degree in communications. I'm supposed to know how to give a speech. And it's funny, I remember the first semester that I came here, we had, Court and I actually had a speech class, an intro speech class together, and one of the assignments was we had to write an acceptance speech. And I don't remember what I said, but anyway. I want to kind of reiterate a lot of what Cord said in that, you know, I thought for a long time about what I might say, and I realized that we don't accomplish anything on our own. And the biggest thing that I could say would be thank you. And there's so many people in this room that had a hand in my graduating. I mean, obviously, I want to thank my parents for having the foresight to convince me that there was life after rodeo and that my college education was going to be important someday. I want to thank the Schambergs. They had a huge hand in just getting through college, and kind of like Cord said, having somebody there to kind of steer you in the right direction. And of course, Dawn and Thetis, you know, thank you guys for inviting us out to become a part of Southwestern. And you know, Southwestern, the reputation that Southwestern has is something that we can all be proud of. And you know, there's some schools that have a lot of different reputations, and it's so cool to be a part of what Southwestern has because, like Cord said, it's such a close-knit community, and all the folks here are here to help and have a genuine concern for the people that come to school here. And I remember how all of those folks helped me throughout that, and I was so glad to see Dr. Jim Hunziker come. And honestly, and y'all can ask Jim about it later, if it wasn't for him, I would still be 2 hours short of getting a degree. So I'm sure by the sound of things, he might have told that story a time or two. But anyway, I just want to, he's, like Cord said, he's one of those professors that I went to his office and had an issue, and he was more than happy to help me. And like I said, this is such an honor, and it's such a humbling experience to be inducted into this Hall of Fame with a lot of people that's done a lot of really neat things, and I want to thank all of you guys. Thank you.
Again, congratulations, Jet. And now Eugene Wilton, who was a 4-year starter on the SWOSU football team during a stretch where the Bulldogs won 4 consecutive Oklahoma Collegiate Athletic Conference championships from 1968 to 71. Wilton started at defensive end and served as the Bulldogs kicker during that stretch and earned 3 all-conference selections, including a first-team All-OCAC honor as a senior in 1971. After his senior season, Wilton earned the Luttrell Award, which is presented to the most outstanding senior athlete, and he later signed as a free agent with the Arizona Cardinals in 1972. Wilton earned his bachelor's degree in education from SWOSU in 1972. Eugene Wilton.
What an honor. You never think about something like this, but this is beyond words. Before I forget, this is supposed to be an acceptance speech, so if I forget, I do accept. You know, this, not only honored to get this award, I was honored to get to play with some of the best football players that's ever played at Southwestern. They were not only good football players, but they were good people, and that's hard to beat. Have you ever heard the phrase, the older you get, the better you was? Well, me and Bob and Buck and Charles, we've decided that nobody's ever going to be as good as what we were. I've heard all their stories at least 10 times. And I love them every time I hear them. And I tell some myself. So, but why I came to Southwestern, I ask myself that all the time. And I honestly couldn't come up with an answer. But here recently, in the last 5-10 years, I have found that answer. And it's the people. I love the people here. You can't find any better people to be around. I remember when Coach Devine came and watched me play in high school. Took me in the gym after the game and told me what Southwestern had to offer, what it was all about, and I really got excited. So I scheduled a visit to come up here. Coach Delaport took me out of his office, took me down to the football field. Wow. I saw the ugliest concrete wall you've ever seen down there on that end. It had a grass track around the football field. Press box was about to fall down. We walked out to the baseball field, and there's this huge hill out in the outfield. Then we went to the gym, and it was a little bitty thing. So we went back to Coach Delaporte's office, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "I'm ready to sign." And then I looked around and who said that? You know. It's just the people. The coaches back then, you couldn't beat them. You know, nowadays, you have to have 10, 12 coaches. We had 4, and they were really special. And I'll never forget them. They taught me a lot. Southwestern is a special place, real special, that everybody that goes here loves. And it's because of the people that works here. And when they retire or quit, they hire someone else to take their place just as good. So please keep up the good work at Southwestern. I love it. And that's all I have, and I want to thank every one of you for coming. I want to thank the nomination committee, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Congratulations again, Eugene, and with that, congratulations once again to our entire induction class this year. One more round of applause for these 3. Past Hall of Famers and also the current Hall of Famers will be introduced between games here this afternoon, and they do ask you to meet here in the northwest corner, basically straight below us at the floor level, so that you can be out on the floor and get introduced right between contests. So it's right outside the elevators if you need to use the elevators to get down to the bottom floor. Other than that, thank you for attending. Thank you for the great meal today as well, and hope you join us for the basketball games, and go beat the Tigers. Go Dogs.